Hey guys, I wanted to talk about raising prices for 2024. A lot of people have asked on a recent video I did where I talk about raising your per man hour rate to get the maximum that your market will allow. A lot of people have asked about, okay, how do I even go about raising prices? And it's scary and I get it. And I want to give you my thoughts on raising prices this year. First off, let me say I do not like blanket price increases across the board to all of your clients, okay? There's a few reasons for that. First, let's talk about the pros of that. Number one, it's very easy to do that. And I'm just gonna say it's kind of a lazy way to do it. I'm just saying, okay, we're just raising the prices on everybody, and if you leave us, great, it'll just make room for new, and especially like if you're at capacity, it just makes sense to do a price increase. And typically one of the first things that comes to people's mind is, I'm just going to raise prices across the board. And while that is an easy way to do that, I want to present you a scenario, something to think about. Suppose you have a postage stamp size lawn, something that is very, very small and you can whip in and out of that lawn super fast. Let's say you're getting $55 for this lawn, and you know in your heart of hearts that is the upper end of what your market will support, okay? And let's say you're getting in and out of this thing in 10, 11, or 12 minutes, and you're getting a premium price on this lawn. My question to you is this: are you willing to roll the dice and take a gamble that you may be losing a lawn that you are getting $150 a man hour on because you're so efficient and profitable on this yard? Let's take that example to an extreme, okay? Let's say that postage stamp yard, somebody was giving you $100 for this lawn, okay? Would you dare increase their price? No, because you know you're hitting your you're exceeding your per man hour rate. That lawn is profitable for your business model. So although that is an extreme, I think it makes a very valid point. I don't think it's fair to your lawn care clients for you to do a blanket price increase to everybody. It's just not fair if some people are already paying at the very, very high end for them to just pay even more. It just doesn't make sense to me. Now, if you're just kind of like, I don't care, John, I got 200 clients and I can only service 150 of them, I'm raising the price on everybody and the dust is just going to settle where the dust settles. Okay, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I want to tell you how I go about raising prices here and what I feel is a better strategy for you moving forward. Number one, we're assuming that you are tracking your time on the lawns and you truly know what the per man hour rate is on the lawn. We have to set that groundwork, that framework, because if you don't have that locked in, why would you increase the price on anybody? You just think that you are not hitting a per minute. You don't know, all right? You need to know, okay? So let's just set that groundwork first, that you absolutely know what your per man hour rate is. If you don't know how to do that, I'll link a video here so you can look at that, okay? But assuming that you have that correct, how do you go about raising prices? Number one is you identify your lowest performers, okay? This is especially true if you are at max capacity. Think about it. If you have a certain amount of labor, like you got yourself and then maybe a guy or two, and y'all are able to do a certain amount of lawns, and you have a certain amount of mowers that can do, so you have all this labor, you have these mowers and these assets. Once these things are at max capacity and running wide open, like, you have to look at the bottom performers of your clients and say, okay, there's nowhere else for me to go. Like, unless I want to add more trucks and trailers to the road, I'm already at the very, very top end of the price for my market. What else can I do? You have to identify the bottom performers and you raise the prices on all of those bottom performing yards. So to the point of raising prices on your bottom performers, let's say for a lady, let's call her Miss Jones. Let's say you're getting $150 an hour on her job, okay? And then you got Miss Betty over here, and you're only getting $40 an hour on her yard, okay? Well, you kind of even those out, and you're like, well, we're hitting our per man hour rate. I don't know what the split on those two would be, but let's say they meet in the middle, and you're like, okay, we hit our per man hour rate. That is the wrong way to think of that. What's happening is you are able to generate $150 an hour, And because you're doing Miss Betty's over here for $40, you are sucking all of the profit out of this extremely profitable yard over here. Does that make sense? If you can achieve a certain per man hour rate, everybody who's down here on the bottom end, the bottom feeders, if you will, they are taking these jobs that are extremely profitable, that are just through the roof, and they're sucking the profit out of those jobs, okay? Number two, and this could very easily be number one, all new leads are getting the new price rate, the high price, okay? So if you have just work flowing in and you are at max capacity, well, why in the world would you do anything other than price your new leads at the very, very high end? And again, we are not in growth mode right now. We are trying to get maximum profits out of what we're doing. So you have new leads coming in. The prices stay very high on new leads. Number one, identify your bottom performers, raise the prices on those. Number two, all new leads get the high price. Number three, and this is something that I have not done, and it's something that I'm going to do in 2024, and I want to share it with you because that's what this channel is about. It's about helping you in your lawn care business, and I think this is something that's going to help me. So while I'm on here on YouTube and telling you about my lawn care business, and I just say, just increase prices, just drop the bottom for 10%. It kind of sucks to do that. Like, there is a certain amount of stress that comes along with raising the prices of people. Like, I get it. Like, I'm in that same boat too. There's times that I'm like, oh, I've had these people for so long. And while you see me on here and it seems like I'm kind of cutthroat, I mean, I am, but you need to understand that it's still difficult for me. It's still difficult to raise prices on people. I don't like doing it. What if there was a way to just build that in? So my idea for 2024 that I want to share with you is this. As new leads come in and they get the high price, everybody who is a new client of us, automatically it will say in their estimate that there will be a price increase to keep up with the cost of inflation every year, okay? That could be 3%, that could be 8, 9, 10%, all right? What that will do for me is this. It takes the anxiety out of raising prices. Look, whenever you sign up for our service, you know that next year I reserve the right to raise the price 3, 5, 7, 8%. And it's just, you already know it's coming. I don't even have to send out letters that we're raising prices because it's just what you have signed up for. And the more I started thinking about that is reasonable. That is fair. It's not unreasonable for me to keep paying higher and higher and higher prices on everything and not raising my lawn care prices over time. I mean, I've got some people, man, that they've been having the same lawn care price for a very, very long time. And albeit it is at a high end, it's still not keeping up with inflation. So I really think it may be a great idea for 2024 to start including in our lawn care estimates down here as one of the little disclaimers, as we renew each year, the price is subject to go up by 3 to 5%. And of course you can change that to whatever number that you want. But the point being, it just takes the anxiety about having to send out massive price increases to everybody. Doing a blanket price increase is not what I would recommend. Identify your bottom performers, raise the price on those, raise the price on new clients with a stipulation in the estimate that there can be a price increase of 3 to 5, 7% every year just to keep up with the cost of inflation. I think that's gonna be the ticket for you. If you have a question about how to actually calculate your per man hour rate, here is a video on how to do that.